Hey, what's up, y'all? As y'all can see, we working on a York package unit today, and the complaint is about a noise coming from the unit. And so before I started the video, I actually jumped it just to see where the sound is coming from. And then once I found where the sound is coming from, I just thought I should make a video. So we're gonna get right into it. So I'm gonna let y'all hear the sound. So I got the power on. So you just gotta be careful. Remember to always respect the electricity. This contact is for the blower motor. So I'm gonna jump it out. As you can hear, the sound is bad. So most of the times I actually run into blown out bearings more than I do run into motors with that are making a noise. So if you look in here under this shaft, there's a bearing in here. It just helps it turn better without grinding and stuff. And then there's another one on the bottom, right? So, and then you got the little rubber piece. Really, the rubber piece on the inside is what goes out, what I have seen go out more than blower motors. So now we need to figure out which one of these two is making that noise. So I can't really see the bearings, like the inside bearing too well. But if it was bad, sometimes you can see them like drop. So what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and isolate this blower motor from the blower wheel, and let's see if we still have a noise. So my reasoning on trying this is, once I take this belt off, it's going to disconnect the operation between these two. So, and then I'm going to jump the blower motor. If the blower motor comes on if it spins without making the noise, then it's going to make me suggest that it is something to do with the blower wheel. So we're going to do a process of elimination. So before you even mess with this, taking off this belt, make sure you got your power off, because this unit is connected by a thermostat that is connected to an energy management system. So even if it was just a regular thermostat, the thermostat could just turn on one day, turn on at the time that you least expect it, and that's when accidents happen. So just remember that. Respect the electricity. So I'm gonna take this belt off I'm gonna do this with one hand. I'm gonna put my flathead like this and then just turn it. All right, so we got the blower motor and the blower wheel. They're still attached, but they're not attached mechanically, I guess you would say. So let's go ahead and turn this back on. And let's jump it out again. So the blower motor by itself is making all of this noise. So we don't repair these motors, we just replace them. And while I'm here, let me just go ahead and spin this See if it makes any noise. I haven't heard anything. Make sure my wheel, make sure it doesn't look like it's jumping. Make sure it looks like it's balanced. So I don't suspect any issue with the blower wheel. So now we're gonna change out this blower motor, okay? So as you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 bolts and you got wiring, okay? So like I always say, take a picture of your wiring. When you're going to get a new motor, I still like to, I take a picture of the motor that's inside of here, but sometimes you never know. They may put in, the previous technician may have put in the wrong one. So I always still like to use the model and serial number when I'm looking up parts, because I like to go for the OEM part. Sometimes you have to use what you can get. So what I'm gonna do is I'm about to unbolt it. Let's see how the wiring looks. Oh, I had already unscrewed this. So basically this plate was on here like this, and it was just 2 1/4 head screws. It was one right here. I took this one all the way out, and then here's my wiring, okay? This is my wiring. It still doesn't tell us anything. We need to see the numbers. So if you look real closely, I see a number. I see a 2 in there. Okay, so I turn my flash on. As you can see, all right, 1 is black, 2 is brown, and then 3 is yellow. So now I have this on my phone. I feel comfortable. Go ahead and disconnecting my electrical. So what I'm gonna do now is disconnect the electrical, take this out, take the blower motor off. So as you saw from that last clip, I was trying to, I was pulling out the electrical, right? And it arced to ground. So I was like, hold on, is something wrong with the breaker? Is it passing one leg? But come to find out, I did not turn off the breaker. The same thing I just told y'all, make sure the breaker is turned off. This is a 3-phase unit. So, you know, this could have hurt me. So that's why you got to be careful out here in this field. So I got the electrical out, got pictures of where the electrical lands, and then also I took off all the nuts. So now it's time to go. Now it's time to come off. So I'm about to go ahead and take it off now. All right, so I got a new motor now, and then also we got a sheave. A sheave. So as you can see on this sheave, let me get you close up. You can see how it has like those ridges, and and when I rub my finger on it, I can feel waves on this sheave. So I call these warped. I don't like to reuse these because it could do damage to the belt. And then also, I don't have to go to my van and get a puller. I could just put this on. And then before you install this new motor, is what you want to do. You got to check the specs. So this motor may not be the correct one because it's got 2 voltage on there. But it looks like it's been in there for a while. So let's verify that they are compatible. Make sure they have the same rating, okay? So 3-phase. RPM 1725. RPM 1725, okay? And then also the duty. That is like the rotation. They both counter, okay? And so that's really the biggest thing is the horsepower 1.5, horsepower 1.5, RPM, voltage, phase, rotation. Those are the most important things to look for. So let me go ahead and take this off. Keep this right here. And then also, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the electrical slot. So, and then also these motors are put together very similar. You can see this is the new motor, this is the old motor. So in the last clip, when I was comparing the 2 motors, I was saying that this motor may have not been the correct one, but what I meant to say is this motor may not have been the OEM motor that came with this entire package unit when it left the factory. So I got the new motor in. You just put it in the same way that the old one came out. You got your nuts, you put the motor on, stick them through the bolts, put the nuts on the bolts. Now it's time for the electrical. Just put a flathead in here. This comes out. And before you stick those wires in there, you gotta put a grommet on there, okay? So I'm about to go ahead and put the grommet on there and then put the wiring on there. And then I'll get back with y'all. I need both my hands now. So I got the new motor in. Wiring is done. It's all bolted up. Also, things to take and things to watch for detail and to take into consideration. A lot of times I see belts all the way inside of the sheave, which is not good. So as you can see, I got the belt like right on the edge. Well, it's not on the edge, but it's not inside, okay? And then also you wanna, as best as you can, try to get this sheave lined up with this pulley. So what I did was I just looked at it like that and got it lined up. Also put in your keyway, tighten up your Allen keys, and I could not use the old belt. It was worn, and then also it just was too tight to fit on here. So what I did was we installed a new AX36 and then also made adjustments to the holder or whatever you call it. And you see it's not too loose and it's not too tight. Before you just close all this up, verify that it is going in the correct direction. So it's supposed to be blowing this way. It's supposed to be going this way, okay? So from the top view, it should be spinning like this. So it should spin like this. So we're gonna make sure it's going in the right direction. Make sure ain't nothing else gonna be an issue. That sounds perfect, actually. And then also, you see it's going in the direction that it's telling us to. One more time. And then also, we're gonna amp check this motor. It's gonna pull more amps with the panels off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an amp check at the contactor, the one I was pushing in. And so our amps, let's check the amps. All right, so this is a multi-voltage motor. So for 208, 230, we were supposed to be pulling 5. And that's why a lot of commercial places, they may use 460 volt, because as you can see, the higher the voltage, the less the amps. The less the amps, the less power you are using. So we're supposed to be pulling 5 amps. So let's go ahead and, everything sounds good. We're going in the right direction. We're gonna go ahead and close this up, and then we're gonna do an amp check before we leave. Those amps look good.